Hello, Tough Fan Rivalry family. Welcome to Tuesday, which that means welcome to College K. We got Dave here, we got Kenna here. Like it's just awesome. Let's talk some college baseball. Dave, how you doing?
Doing great.
Kenna, how you
Doing
doing?
great.
Really good.
Good. Are we ready
I'm
to talk some Bills?
on location in Dallas,
On location
traveling
in
the
Dallas.
country.
That's okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, on location in Dallas is always good. Kenna's on location where she normally is at, so it's no different, right, Kenna?
Till next Monday, I'll be somewhere else.
There you go. There you go. All right. So, as we normally do, we're going to pay the bills real quick. If you're looking to refinance your house, you can always reach out to our good friend Chris at Mortgage Direct. We like him. We love him. He's a great guy. Also, too, if you need, before you get that refinance done, or if you need the cash to do this, you can always reach out to Lang Roofing in Southern California. They do a great job with roofs and repairs of roofs. So we love these guys. They are fantastic, both of them. But now that we've paid the bills, everybody, let's get started. Right. As usual, we're going to have the agenda that has worked for us. So we're going to kick it off. I think this week, Kenna, I believe you lead us off with the top 25.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We saw a few upsets over the weekend. I'm gonna start off with my ins, or I'll start out with outs actually. We saw Louisville drop out. They're definitely starting out to a rough start, obviously going 2-5. Can Louisville wake up? They've been a dominant team the last couple of years, have made it to multiple regionals and a super regional appearance. TCU drops from 17 to 18. They've also had a rough start to the beginning of the year. We saw Kentucky drop from 18 to 22, but like I've said in weeks before, it's still early enough in the season. Anything can happen. It's still anyone's game. A few ends that we saw FSU drop from they dropped from 16 to 21. Not sure what's going in there. And Ole Miss surprisingly made the rankings with um F or who Louisville dropping out. So we'll see what happens there because Ole Miss has been a great team the last few years and they're a fun team to watch as well. So let's see what they can do this year.
100%. Dave, what are your thoughts about the top 25?
Yeah, what was fun is you've got Baseball America, you got D1 Baseball, you got USA Today all doing rankings. And USA Today, I was just looking, surprisingly moved UCLA out of the number one spot and moved LSU in, which I was a little bit surprised about. LSU's undefeated, have pretty strong schedule. UCLA has got one loss, but I still think they're the number one team. I don't know how you move UCLA out of there. So that was surprising. Um, the other one, which is near and dear to my heart, is the fact that the team in Tucson that was top 25 to start the season is now, I think, 1-6, and their only win is against Omaha. So I don't think they dropped out of the top 30. They probably dropped out of the top 50, um, which is not disappointing to me at all. So
Not heartbreaking, huh?
no, no, but we're still early here. They're starting to sort themselves out. Oklahoma's been on fire. I'm going to be in Norman, Oklahoma tomorrow for the ASU Oklahoma 2-game series. I'm looking forward to seeing them. But they've been on fire, beating some really good teams.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the upcoming schedule soon. Tennessee lost a couple of games at Kent State. Um,
Yeah.
that's tough to understand. So yeah, they took a hit.
Yeah. And so North Carolina goes up from moves up from 10 to 8, right? Florida 12 to 10. You guys have already mentioned Oklahoma up from 21 to 13, which that's interesting. TCU down from 7 to 18, and then Ole Miss, like Kenna said, being ranked in the top
Yeah,
25 more.
I think the TCU thing, I mean, I don't know how they're going to shake out yet. That's a good team. I think it was more not that they lost all three games in UCLA. It's just how they lost them, I think really hurt them because they got blown out twice and
Yeah,
it was not pretty. So, but that's a good team. I think they're going to land on their feet and be just fine. I'm going to get to see them live in, I think, 2.5 weeks. So I'll have a better idea.
yeah, great, great team. Dave, take us through the weekend review. Take us back to all the fun things that happened this last week. We're in full swing now, everybody. So this is fun.
We absolutely are. There was a lot of good stuff. I already mentioned one which I was following, the Tucson Wildcats, and man, it's just tough to understand that start. I know there's been quotes online of the coach, um, you know, being embarrassed for his student body and embarrassed for the city and stuff like that, which is really early in the season to be feeling like that. But yeah, they Omaha was in Phoenix and was swept by ASU, went down and beat Arizona, and then UConn got beat 17-7 by ASU, went down to Tucson and took 2 out of 3 from Arizona. So that's tough to understand. We'll see how they're able to bounce back. But that was probably the biggest story I was following. I was also following obviously TCU, UCLA. Um, I was following Tennessee, the 2 losses to Kent State. There's there were some good matchups. These tournaments, the matchups are crazy. And there were some really good games there as well. Houston finally came to earth. They were five and I think they were 3 or 4-0 the first week, and they lost a couple games last week. Mississippi State's on fire. Texas A&M's playing well. We saw a stat earlier today that what was it? Texas A&M. What was it? I'm going to find it here because I know I brought it up earlier. Come on now. There it is. Texas A&M for the week, 38 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, and 45 strikeouts. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's like they're playing high school teams to get those video game numbers. So good stuff there. I was following what was going on the East Coast with the weather and with that North Carolina East Carolina series was fun to follow until that last game ended in a tie, and that's just kind of unfortunate.
6-1-1.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
A couple of
100%.
good teams battling it out there. You love those in-state rivalries. People, the temperature runs high and everybody's invested. It's fun.
Any week in review that Dave didn't cover you want to go through, Kenna?
Yeah, he kind of covered out all of it. I mean, definitely the ECU UNC series was hard to watch at first. Friday went up 10-0. I mean, Norby couldn't figure it out at first. Then it was just hit after hit, homer after homer. It definitely was a little disappointing, but then we went into Durham and took care of business on Saturday, and then sadly they called the game um a little before 4:30. So it was very disappointing not being able to finish the series out because that was the first tie of a game in several years for any baseball game. So it definitely was a little disappointing getting to watch that. I mean, Kent State taking care of business against Tennessee, that was fun. I mean, I don't think very many people expected that. Tennessee's been a dominant team for many years now, so going in and losing a series to Kent State. I mean, Kent State's made, I believe, 2 regionals in the last 2 years. Texas A&M's dominant pitching. I mean, they had a horrible down year last year, starting out at number one in the nation and then fell apart brutally. But I really want to know if Louisville can wake up sooner than later. I mean, starting out like that and dropping out of the top 25 as high as a ranking they had, can Louisville wake up eventually and maybe make a run for a regional, another super regional sooner than later?
Yeah, and to follow on that, it was interesting because they lost 2 out of 3 to Michigan State,
Mm-hmm.
and Michigan State went down to Texas and got their clocks cleaned. So, um, it kind of gives you an idea of where Michigan State is in the pecking order, and those are probably not great losses for Louisville going forward. We'll see, but I was expecting more out of Michigan State, at least to be able to compete in those games. So.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And Dave, I know you're gonna talk about this at some point, but you got to beat up on the teams that you got to beat up on, right? I mean, even in Major League Baseball, you got to beat up on the teams that are rebuilding, the Cardinals, the Rockies, whatever, right? But ASU had a good weekend and had a good week. And though you might not be playing contenders right away, you still got to get those games.
Yeah, there's a few teams out there that are off to good starts and maybe haven't played any super tough competition yet. I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, these are all D1 athletes. We shouldn't discount them. They're all there for a reason. I mean,
Mhm.
however, if you're a Power Four school and you've got aspirations for regional, you know, there's just a different set of expectations. So, the first weekend, ASU took care of Omaha, had one relatively close game. Um, took care of UConn in a midweek that was not even close. That was a tough one to watch. I thought it was going to be a run rule, and then followed it up with a weekend against St. John's and had one close game there. The offense took a day off, and the pitchers were able to pull through and hold that win together. So we're
Okay.
looking forward to this week, and we'll get to that in the upcoming schedule because ASU goes from playing, the Big East and Omaha to right into the fire this week.
100%. All right, before we get into that, let's again we can't do this without our sponsors. We're grateful to Lang Roofing. They do a great job. I've known these guys over at Lang Roofing since 1991. Probably shouldn't admit my age, but I have. And um, Mortgage Direct. We're grateful for Chris and his team over there. If you need to get refinanced, Chris is a good guy. He'll walk you through the steps. It's pretty phenomenal. So we're grateful for our sponsors. Every week you'll hear about them. So. Okay, so now let's go back to performances, right? Before we go into the matchups for next week, let's talk performances. And I guess ladies first, Kenna, why don't you start out with some of that, and then Dave, we'll go to you, and I've got a few myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight two of my brother's teammates. One of them is a close family friend of ours that my brother's grown up playing with. He's a freshman center fielder starting for ECU. His name's Grady Lenahan. These were his stats alone just Saturday against UNC. Nine total bases, six RBIs, three hits, one homer, and he was one hit away from the cycle, which was a single. Watching that game being was phenomenal for Grady. I mean, I've grown up knowing him, so has my family as well. And seeing him coming up and doing that, he deserved it more than anything. I mean, he was the happiest guy alive Saturday night. And I'm going to highlight our starting pitcher from that day as well, Sean Jenkins. He actually just won ACC Pitcher of the Week, or sorry, AAC for ECU's conference. 7.2 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 0 runs, and one hit in his dominant performance Saturday against Chapel Hill. So definitely was a little fun after what happened Saturday to give UNC a little piece of their mind after that.
What a great week for them. What a great week.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. Tell your brother's buddy that I said, why didn't you get the cycle? You were just one hit away from it. So on, step it up. Let's go. No, He's, no, that's great. That's phenomenal. Nine total bases, and that's you don't see that often, right? And
Mhm.
so that I don't care what level you're playing at, nine total bases is amazing. So, Dave, what about you?
Well, a couple of things stood out. One is that USC is trying to remind everyone that there's another team in the LA area other than UCLA, and a couple of their guys are off to great starts on the mound. Grant Govil, sophomore, he's got 21 strikeouts already. His ERA is a big fat zero. He's got two wins in the book. Um, and then Mason Edwards, a junior, he's also 2-0 and also with an identical zero ERA and 20 strikeouts in the book. So they're making some noise on the other side of LA. You've got Oklahoma rebuilt their entire pitching staff this offseason. LJ Mercurius and Cam Johnson, both transfers, both juniors, both 2-0. I think the highest ERA there is a 1.6. They've got, 37 strikeouts between them already. And I don't know if we're going to see them in a couple of midweeks. I'd love to, but they're off to a great start. And then on the hitting side, I'm going to highlight a couple of guys here. I'm going to go off course here a little bit and look at my first top 20 here year to date in top in RBIs. This whole list has two freshmen. Think about that. there's two freshmen in the top 20 in the NCAA and RBIs. And I think we ought to call them out. That's Cade Walter at Jacksonville and
Yep.
Dylan Littlefield at Eastern Kentucky. Heck of a job so far. This list is littered with upperclassmen, people, guys that have just experience, probably transfers that have played in big places. And these two freshmen are getting it done.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, yeah, 100%. And I'm actually gonna break the rules here for 30 seconds since we've only had a week and a half or 2 weeks worth of games. I thought I'd highlight a couple of them that are just not necessarily in the week, but overall in the last 2 weeks. And then next week I'll get back to the rules. But on the offensive side, you have Brooke Johnston over at Vandy, 5 games, 5 home runs. Okay, that's a bad stat, right? Keep that up. That'll get you some attention. And then Kyle McDaniel at Utah Tech. What the heck is Utah Tech? But anyways, 15 ABs, 13 hits. So he's hitting almost 500. That's pretty solid for that amount of. And then if I go to the bump, Chris Oliver over at Lamar, a senior over at Lamar, 6.2 innings, 14 strikeouts, and Zach Todd over at Pacific, 10 innings, 14 strikeouts. I don't care who you are; those are great numbers, and especially competing at this level. And if somebody at Vandy has played 5 games and has 5 home runs, maybe we got to pay attention to that. So,
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, and no report on top performers would be complete without talking about UCLA. And I
yeah,
know everywhere you go online and social media, it's Rock Chalowski here and Rock Chalowski there, and well deserved. And I'll shout him out here, even though he doesn't need another shout out. But he's got 6 home runs already and 12 RBIs in 7 games.
yeah.
What I'd like to really shout out, though, is his teammate, who's a transfer from Texas, Will Gasparino,
Mm-hmm.
is actually ahead of him in batting average, has an identical 6 home runs, and has more RBIs. So good on Will Gasparino for walking out of that shadow and making his presence known in a new city.
Yeah, 100%. And like you say, there's going to be a lot of props given to UCLA this season. It'll be interesting to see how that
Their offense
plays out.
is unbelievable. If they can pitch, I don't know I don't know how you beat them. I mean that team's tough.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%. Okay, Kenna, lead us to this week, and then we'll do one of my favorite segments. But lead us to this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna start out with we have number 10 Florida going up the road to number 17 Miami. Both teams are starting out on a hot streak. Both teams are ranked. Definitely gonna be a little fun in-state rivalry.
Yes.
Sorry, Dave, I'm gonna take it from you. Let's go to number 4
Mhm.
Mississippi State at Arizona State. That's gonna be a little fun series to look at this weekend, and hopefully, I pray Arizona State comes out on top. I want David to be happy, and I don't like Mississippi State as an SEC fan. Um, this is a little or a little toss-up series. One of another good family friend of ours, he is a pitcher at South Carolina, and they have Clemson in town this weekend. Clemson's ranked 15 in the nation, and South Carolina is also currently undefeated. So we'll see how that goes this weekend. Then we have number 3 Texas at number 9 Coastal. Coastal definitely had a rough week this past week. But hopefully, as much as I don't want to say it, Texas can take care of business because we have Coastal the weekend after. And then little up the road series, we have Virginia Tech at Texas A&M. Being a huge Aggies fan and also going to school an hour away from Virginia Tech, both teams I know plenty of people that play at Virginia Tech, and both teams are off to a very, very hot streak and are getting both receiving votes to get ranked right now. So let's see what happens with that series this weekend.
Nice. Dave, what about you?
Well, I think the tournament here in Arlington is going to be center stage this week. You've got Mississippi State, UCLA, Arizona State, Texas A&M, Virginia Tech, all going at it. Some ridiculously crazy matchups for this early in the season. As Kenna kind of pointed out, you've got, we've got Arizona State and Mississippi State for the first game on Friday. You got UCLA against Tennessee right after that. Um, and then you got Virginia Tech and Texas A&M, and that's going to be a round robin all weekend with those teams. So you're going to have, you know, the matchups are ridiculous. So I'm really looking forward to that. Arizona State has Oklahoma, as we talked about, for 2 games before that. So if that wasn't a tall enough task to take on those teams this weekend, they're going to take on Oklahoma for 2 in Norman. So I think there's one other matchup that caught my eye, and I don't think Kenna mentioned it. If I can find it here quickly. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, Coastal and Texas caught my eye for sure. I thought there was an Alabama game that caught my eye, but I'm not seeing it right now. But definitely the focus is going to be in Arlington. This is a crazy matchup this time of year.
Yeah. 100%, 100%, 100%. All right, let me give you mine. And then we'll also mention, again, before I give you mine, we'll also mention Lang Roofing one more time and uh, Mortgage Direct with Chris. And these guys do such a great job. We have more coming on board, so we'll be mentioning them quite a bit. You guys mentioned all mine, but I'll read them off just so that everybody doesn't think that I didn't do my homework. ASU, Mississippi State, UCLA, Tennessee, Florida, Miami, which Kenna, you took that one, which in-state, that's 10 versus 17, Coastal Carolina versus Texas, which that's going to be a great one, and Texas A&M and Virginia Tech. Don't sleep on Virginia Tech. They're 6-1 right now. So you can't sleep on this team. They can sneak up and bite you like a snake. So don't be too down on those guys, right?
Yeah, the one I was looking for is Saturday, and it's Oregon State in Alabama, and
Yeah,
it's in Frisco, I think, is the tournament. So Alabama plays Houston on Sunday. That's a nice matchup too. I'd like to
it
see
is. It
how those
is.
two play out.
Dave, we got to get down to that ballpark because you'll love that ballpark. That ballpark's a lot of fun. Kid, have you ever been down to University of Houston baseball?
Well, I've been on the campus. I haven't been to a game though.
So how I met you was through a mutual friend,
hmm
and she did some sideline reporting
Yep.
and did a lot of stuff for the baseball community. That's how I met her. I met her actually at a game
Mm.
at the baseball community. So I thought that was a lot of fun. So, all right. So for those of you that don't know how this show works, every Tuesday morning will be on YouTube. The audio will be up. I have a face for radio, so we tried to make sure that we don't put them on YouTube that often because of I have a face for radio. Dave is a handsome dude, and Kenna, I mean, she clears it up with everything. But anyways, so every week we're going to be doing this, but we also will end with a segment called Be Kind Rewind. And that segment is going to take one major league player and give us their stats. And so I have one. I'm hoping that nobody takes mine tonight because, yes, I had a little issue before we recorded tonight. So yeah. So, okay. Dave, why don't you lead us off with your Be Kind Rewind and please don't take mine.
I don't think I will. I'm going with the same theme, and I'm staying in Tempe, also known as MLBU. And we're going to talk about
That's
Dustin
fair.
Pedroia.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Dustin Pedroia. So um, Pedroia was, I think he was drafted when he was like 20 years old, made it to the majors at 22. We all know how his career played out with the Red Sox. He's I think, a two-time world champion. Um, just an elite infielder. He's got a 51.8 WAR for only playing. Obviously, gosh, I think he retired when he was 33. So it's pretty darn good for a little bit shorter career. At ASU, I think he was a career 384 hitter. Gosh, he was a Golden Spikes finalist, second round draft choice, first team All Pac 10, Dick Hauser Award, first team All American with Baseball America. I mean, it goes on and on. Um, so he's the one I would highlight. He played 3 years at ASU, 384 hitter, 300 hits, 146 RBIs. Um, just one of the highlights of our alumni as far as the baseball program goes. So,
Yep.
and went on to a great career in the MLB.
Mhm.
Yep. Kenna, what about you?
I'm gonna go back to my hometown and highlight someone that went to Old Dominion University. He set the school strikeout leader. Originally, he set it in 2003 with 139 strikeouts, then broke it in 2004 with 151 strikeouts. He has 427 career strikeouts from 2002 to 2004 and 352.2 innings. He also won the 2004 ODU Alumni Male Athlete of the Year, and then he was drafted second overall in 2004 by the Tigers, averaging 11.5 strikeouts per 9 innings with a 2.57 ERA, and that is Justin Verlander.
JV, Mr. Kate Upton.
Nice.
Good,
Nice.
good
He's going to have
call.
a spot in Cooperstown too.
Yes,
Yes,
and
he will.
as an Astros fan, I'm very happy that we had him from the time that we did. I mean, I kind of wanted to sign him back for one more year, but I'm very happy that he signed back with the Tigers to retire with them because he'll wear that hat into Cooperstown.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Good call. Well, mine, mine isn't a local guy, although it was just up the street. He went to a town that is known for, I mean, a school that's known a little bit for baseball. But what's going to surprise you about this is he had 500 and he only had 594 career at bats in college, but he had 205 hits, and he's got a career batting average of 345 at the collegiate level, which should shock you a little bit when I tell you who it is. Only 18 home runs. But this guy in the majors has amassed a total of 368 home runs in the Bronx. Played for Fresno State, and that's Aaron Judge. So,
Boo.
well, you would think that he would have more bombs, but he hit more for average, and that's I wanted to point that out because I thought that was interesting. So,
Very
100%.
good. Very good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I
Pedroia,
think
Kate Upton, and Justin Verlander.
I think it was interesting on Pedroia's part that the current coach Willie Bloomquist has a higher career average batting average at ASU than he did by 10 points. That's interesting.
That's yep. That's good. That's good right there. That's something that Willie's proud of. Hey, look at and honestly, Dustin would have had a spot in Cooperstown had he been able to stay healthy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That guy
and
had better baseball IQ than a lot of guys that he played with.
yeah, he's so fun to watch. This one's for you, Bill. It's a softball, but who leads ASU single season hits for a season?
For a season?
Yeah, it should be a layup for you being a Dodger fan.
I don't know this, believe it or
I'll
not.
let you off the hook. It's Paul Duca.
Oh, Paula Duque. Yeah, Paulie. I forgot that he went there. Yeah. I was trying to think of all the signs that I saw when I was there with you. Okay, wait. Yeah, Paula Duque. So, all right, everybody. We have episode 2 of College K in the books. Hopefully, you're enjoying it. Please let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about. We'd be happy to do it. And we will be right back here Tuesday morning and next week. A lot of good baseball to watch, and I'm sure we'll have some fun stuff out there. We're gonna be starting to put up pictures and other things for Kenna's and Dave's travels. So pay attention to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So enjoy your Tuesday, all, and have a great day. We'll talk to you next week.
Devils.